All right, there we are. Good morning and welcome. This is a live stream recording, so if you're watching this later, welcome. If you're watching it now, welcome as well. This will be a beginner's guide for Crusader Kings 3, meaning we're going to tackle the very basics from starting the game, what to play, how to play, and then going through all the things that you need to do to not fail immediately in this game, and we're going to jump right in with it. If there are any questions from chat, I'll take them and answer them. But for now, we are just going to go ahead. So once you start the game, we'll be playing with all the DLC. You don't need to. Doesn't really make much of a difference at this point. There hasn't been too many releases. Most of these are cosmetic. You can tell by the smaller amount. Some events, some look stuff. It's all fine. We'll click on New Game. And you will be presented with certain options, which might be a little bit overwhelming and I think misleading as well, because none of these options are good if you're really starting out with. Even if they say easy, it's you're starting on a level where certain things are easy, yes, but you're not going to learn all that much about it. So first things first, we're going to start a little bit earlier in the world. If you select this up here, you're going to get some new options, but we're not going to take any of these options. We will instead click down here in a moment, but first we make sure that we have Ironman mode selected. You might unselect this if this is like the very first time playing, to ensure that you're allowed to have multiple save games. So you can, if something goes horribly wrong, reload the game and go ahead. But I recommend not doing that. Simply keep Ironman on, so you only have one save, so whatever happens, happens, and you have to go with it and deal with it. This is the harder way to learn, I think, but it's definitely the better way to learn overall. The difficulty only goes down, so if you select something other than normal, you will not be eligible for achievements regardless of Iron mode or not, Iron Man mode or not. You can also adjust your game rules entirely to whatever way you feel like. It will tell you whether or not you are getting out of Iron Man mode or something. But we'll just leave it as the standards and not touch any of this. So let's select where we're going to play by clicking that thing down there. Now the first thing to know is that there's currently really only two types of cultures to play. It's tribal and clan and feudal. I said two, but it's three kind of, but tribal is the baseline. It'll grow into clan or feudal eventually. So we're not going to consider tribal at the moment. We are going to play something feudal, but something small, so you can see how it really goes. So you're presented with this big map here of honestly quite a bit of the world. If you look around, we go even down to India there. So that's a pretty daunting starting area. Now what I would strongly suggest is you zoom in a little bit. And the further you zoom in, the more detailed the world gets. And we'll just pick something somewhere. I strongly suggest playing within one of the bigger established empires or kingdoms. Doesn't really matter what culture, where you go. Oftentimes people go for Ireland as like the starter island because you have a little bit more of a contained situation. But my point today and with this video is going to be, we pick anywhere to show you that even someone who isn't like the most expert player, I don't know all the cool tricks that the real big YouTubers on this know, will do okay. I'm not gonna roll up the world here, but I'll do just fine, I think, and I'll tell you how and why. So maybe we pick a bit of a tough spot, like right there in Great Moravia. Or Moravia, that looks difficult. There's a lot of shattered stuff around, but there's also some big players around, and you're pretty close to the Khazarian hordes. So yeah, that's a dangerous spot to be, and we'll go there. So if you first click on it, you get several options here. You see some flags hovering around here. These are the different levels of titles. So there's a kingdom, there are several dukes, and there is a count. And we want to play as a count. So we could either pick the count that's already visible here, but I wouldn't recommend that because they are surrounded by bigger and stronger fish, we would like maybe to take a count that is part of an existing duchy. So we could click this guy here, and you can see how they're connected. They are part of this kingdom, and they are his vassal. And now you could pick a count that is part of a duchy. There are several advantages to this. If someone who's not within this duchy wants to declare war on you, be it an outside force outside the kingdom or within the kingdom, they have to fight your liege. So if they come from outside the kingdom, they have to fight the kingdom for your land. If they come from inside the kingdom, they have to fight the duke to get your land. So this is some layers of protections. You start out weak and small, but you are potentially safer to a degree, because you don't really need to consider what are all my neighbors doing. You have a very contained starting spot, and you can't really fall that low. So, you know, it's not the end of the world if things kind of go wrong a little bit. So we'll go ahead and pick either the county of Orava or the county of Gemer. And if you select something here, you get a preview of who you're going to be, and it shows you some difficulty information. It's not going to be like, this is a hard game, this is a whatever, but no player here is generally considered a bit of a problem, but we are a young player here, so it wouldn't be the worst in the world, as opposed, both of these are kind of young, but he doesn't have this issue of not having an heir. Personally, I like starting with no heir, because, well, for the purposes of today, that's kind of ideal. I want to teach you the very basics, so we'll start with one of the more terrible starts. We're not going to concern ourselves with everything we see on the screen. I'm not going to explain all the things that are there, because I'm going to focus on the things that are actually relevant for you to play a basic, non-optimized, just get playing. You know, all the optimizations, all the improvement, all the getting better, that's down to you eventually. But first, let's start walking before we start running. So we'll take this man. The only real things to look out for is, okay, we are feudal, which is what we wanted to do. Feudal is kind of where it goes, even if you start as tribal or something else. And our religion here is Catholic, which has some advantages, and we are a Slovenian culture, which has its own things, but we'll get into that eventually. And our liege lord is Duke, what's his name? Duke Svatopluk. And we will be playing as Count Predslav II of Gemer. And this will just start. You could also just create your own ruler, but we're not going to do that. We're going to take what the game gives us. And it'll ask us to create a save. You can have it either locally or in the cloud, whichever you would like. Alright, so the first thing we notice, it says you have a new heir, because sometimes the information in the starting thing is kind of false. So we have two kids. We have a daughter and we have a son. We also have a wife here who seems to be suffering from dwarfism. But that's fine. So the first issue that you need to figure out in Crusader Kings is how to keep your bloodline going. Because whereas a lot of people say that Crusader Kings does not have a goal as such, like there's no winning condition to the game, that is pretty much true. Your goal is to have your bloodline, your dynasty, build it up, make it big, make it strong, and make it last throughout all the ages. So eventually when the game reaches its final age, I think it's 1400, 1300, something around there, you are still in the game. It doesn't really matter whether or not you are in the game as a count or as a emperor. As long as you still have something, to my mind, you have done well. You've survived all the ups and downs of medieval life. Right. So this is pretty much where we're gonna start looking at the very basics on how we manage this. So the first thing is you lose the game by losing your titles or dying without an heir, which is kind of similar in what it does. So if you lose all your titles, right now we are a count. So if we zoom in a little bit more, you can see our county consists of several baronies. And you can hold barony titles We do actually for the barony of Gemer. But if we only have a barony title left, we also lose the game. Well, actually, we hold all barony titles here if you look at that. So you need to be at least a count. That's important to remember and to know. I said dying and losing your titles is almost the same. It is insofar that if you have no heir, your title can go nowhere where you are allowed to continue playing. So it's almost like losing all the titles as they kind of vanish into the void and are usually inherited by someone outside of your own personal line of succession. Right. Before we really get into playing, and we'll start on how to survive, kind of, I want to have a technical information bit that is really important, and that's the tooltips. The game has a wonderful functionality which you can find in the settings to adjust to your liking, which is in the game bit, and it says tooltip mode action lock. So you can switch it to various modes. Personally, I leave it on action lock, which means if I press the middle mouse button, the thing that's really cool is gonna come in here, and you can see some sliders and adjusting it. But for now, just know that the option is there and you should 100% use it. So we see a tooltip here. Yeah. If you move over, the tooltip changes. But sometimes within the tooltip, there's information that has more information. For example, you can see the blue written supply limit there, as opposed to the development and terrain and whatnot. If you see something blue written like that in a tooltip, you know that that is information that has more information to it. So if we click now the middle mouse button, it's not doing the thing that I wanted to do. Very good. But because apparently if you hover just over the county, that's the one place where it doesn't work. But if we hover over our title, for example, you see a lot more blue things. And watch the outline of the tooltip. If I middle mouse button, it grows a little bit bigger. I'm just toggling on and off so you can see it. So now with the outline like that, if I move my mouse into the tooltip, not outside of it, it still goes away if it's outside, but if I move into the tooltip and stay in the tooltip, I get some information. I get information on the blue things, and here again you can nest this. So let's say, all right, the county rank realm. It tells us a realm is all the land a ruler controls, either directly or through vassals, in contrast to a domain, which is only the holdings personally owned by a ruler. So if we click middle mouse button again, we can go into the tooltip of the tooltip, and you can basically go for a really, 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 really long time. And this is ultra important. This is one of the greatest innovations that Crusader Kings has brought into the gaming space. Other games have adopted it now, mainly from the House of Paradox, I would say. Age of Wonders 4, for example, has a similar functionality. This is important because a lot of the information you're going to get here is vital for you to learn and understand over time. And that is also why I'm not going to go through all of the information, because the information is in here. Now you know how to find it. Now you know how to interact with it. This will be your most important tool. I know it seems a little bit daunting because there's so much information, but the way we are going to go through today is I'm going to only talk about the things relevant to the game as it currently is. So I'm not going to tell you everything about counties or baronies or kingdom titles or succession and stuff. We talk about the things as they come up in a bit of a prioritized list of how important certain elements are to the game and to succeeding in not dying or losing all your titles. That's all we're going to focus on for now. If you want to do all the cool tricks and stuff, go watch other videos. Right. Now that you know that there is a lot of information in this game and you can find it directly in the game, you don't have to tab out, you don't have to Google it on the side. You can, but you don't have to. The first things we want to take care of is ensuring that we survive and our dynasty survives. So we are this person right now. We are Count Predslav II of Gemer. And once we die, we will become Blahoslav Smoleniki, who will become the first of Gemer, probably. I don't think there has been one of his name before. No, not the grandfather, not the father. By the way, if you're kind of confused why the parents and grandparents are just a man each, if you start at the earliest point in the game kind of misses all the family tree information for some reason. So, yeah, there should be women, and there will be women later on, but right now, for the very first initial line of succession, it's a bit of biblical creation. Just everyone sprung from men for some reason. Yeah, so if we die, we become him. If he dies and he doesn't have children, as you can see here, we're done. We've lost the game. So right now we're safe-ish. Becoming a 0-year-old person in this game isn't the end of the world. You can manage through, but it's not super advisable to do so. So child mortality is a thing. It might be good to have another kid going. We already do, but it's a girl. Now, that can be a problem depending on where you are in the game. Certain cultures have a succession where it's like, okay, both girls and boys can inherit. It's fine. There's just a preference. So the first thing we are going to check, because it's always a little bit different depending on who you pick, is our succession law. For that, you click on the crown here, you press F2 to get that, and then you have these tabs here. Again, ignore all the information here. We're just looking for the succession thing. So right now we can see that we have some succession laws. Doesn't matter. We're looking for the gender law. What type of children do we need to ensure our survival? And it says male preference, which is called agnatic cognatic. So male and then female. So this says men take precedence over women in succession. Male rulers can have concubines or multiple spouses if their faith has the concubines or polygamous doctrine, which for Catholicism isn't the case. So we are, I was about to say stuck with, we have one wife. That's that. That doesn't mean we can't have lovers on the side or something, but this wife is all we have for the moment to generate more children with us, to have more children with us. Now, there's a whole meta-gaming world out there to optimize the kind of children you will have by picking the right spouse, making sure you get only good inheritable traits and all that kind of stuff. You can find it elsewhere. We're just going to go with the very basics. Super simple. So now that we know, even if our boy dies, we still have a girl. So it's fine. It's fine. We will have a line of succession. Now we need to secure the line of succession down here, honestly. And the most important bit to notice if you have agnatic cognatic, there's a change button, but nothing really is unlocked here. This comes through the ages. If you have a daughter, like we do, if you find a spouse, which is important later on for alliances and all that kind of stuff, make sure you click matrilineal. That means that whoever marries her, their offspring will be of your dynasty and not theirs. So they become eligible. They have this little green blood icon. That's what you want. Anyone with a green blood icon, not red, not light green or half green, only this fully filled green blood. That is all the characters that you are allowed to keep playing as people die. And they will die. It's inevitable. Either through age or other threats, which we will come to now. So we haven't really started playing it, but all this information is kind of prudent to make some choices early on. And the first choices are usually up here. The game has this information thing. You can press tab to open this up. This information is different from this information. These are kind of extra special. These are definitely in need of your attention. These are, look at them when you're ready. All right. So the very first thing is kind of weird because it's not super important. You could go on an activity. It's a grand tournament. Doesn't matter for us right now. Activities will come to, doesn't matter. We need a lifestyle. You can see the same button down here. So every character starts out with a set of skills and abilities and some of these traits here. So depending on these, you are going to be good at certain aspects of being a ruler and living life in medieval anywhere. So let's pick a lifestyle. These are basically, imagine them as talent trees. And we have 3 out of 27 unlocked in the diplomacy. And due to our diplomacy education, which is, if we go here again, is this here. You can see this is our education, the thing that has a little star, 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. 4 is the best. That's what you're basically good at. And it gives you lifestyle experience. And especially at first, while you might feel like, oh, I would rather be a knight, I would rather be a scholar or a spy master, or just really good at handling finances of the realm. You can have multiple lifestyles going at a time. You can go into multiple trees. But personally, I feel it's sensible to go with the one where you get the absolute most out of it. So do pick the one you're actually good at, and then select a focus within it. This is further to refine a little bit what exactly it means that you are a diplomat. There are several trees which you can, for right now, we start as August, which we might not actually like so much, so we might reset our perks. But for now, we're going to pick one of these 3 major things. With our consideration of wanting to keep the family line alive, we already have 2 potential heirs. So I'm not going to go for family focus. It has fertility plus 20%, which is important if you have 0, nothing. But having too many heirs is also a problem, a potential problem. We're going to get to that. So right now with 2 potential heirs, and there's going to be more, I'm sure we're going to get at least another or 2 more children. So I'm fine. I don't need the family focus. The Majesty focus, that's pretty interesting. It gives us +1 diplomacy and +1 prestige per month. Prestige is much more relevant if you are playing a tribal ruler. For feudal rulers, it is sort of important. It's one of the many, one of the currencies in the game that you spend on various activities. The thing is, as a feudal ruler, it might not be super important. The other option is getting +3 diplomacy, which can be much, much stronger. So I'm torn a little bit between these 2. We are going to make a bit of a RP selection here. Majesty focus, we are a count. We are not very majestic. So we're going to go for foreign affairs focus here. And this is all the things that we get as a bonus based on this. It's actually more than what we're being shown here, because we get adequate bargainer, or rather, this is the way of how is this calculated. How do we get to 32 per month? It's because we are our liege's chancellor, gives us +10%, and we have this level 2 adequate bargainer. So our liege has put us in the position of being their diplomat because we are good at diplomacy. So we'll lean into this. Now, let's check the tree we're in. We don't have any points to give right now, but you can see over here we are 16 on diplomacy. That's our best value. We're really good. So we're going to try and lean into that. But we want to consider a little bit on what we're doing. We're not going to go for family hierarchy, though the befriend thing is really quite strong, but we don't want anything else out of this tree at the moment. So what do we have? We have firm hand, prestige per dread. I don't think we're very dreadful. We're not going to do dreadful things. Monthly prestige per night. It's scheme power, sway scheme power, +30%. That's strong. And I'm not sure. Let's see. Over here we would get opinion game from send gift. That's very expensive to do. We don't have a lot of money, so it's not really helpful for us. Yeah. Okay. So the diplomacy tree is much more interesting as you grow older. So we'll keep on the August tree and leave it as it is. But if you're unhappy with your choice here, you can reset the perks. It costs you some stress, which you will then have to try and offset. But then you can adjust all the points that you have here. For now, we'll leave it as it is, keeping in mind a little bit of what we got going here. The only really interesting thing for us right now is the sway scheme power +30%. The other things are just kind of passives, but this here is also passive, but for a very great active activity. Right. So, right now, we are within this duchy, right? So we are this blue border thing. This is us. We are this one county, blue border. This is one county consisting of these 3 baronies, which are all ours. We want to grow and expand a little bit. There's going to be threats to our attempts to grow and expand. And there are some rules to growing and expanding. First things first, this here is who we're going to try and expand against. The Count of Orava, because he's within our duchy. We could also go on external forces. We could try and attack the Chiefdom of Kharkov. We could try and attack the High Chiefdom of Ungvar. But generally, you want to fight something that you are somewhat equal to. We have, if we look at ourselves, you can press F1 for that, or you can just press your little portrait down here. If you are in a screen where you don't see it, just close out and then click there. So what are we good at? We are strong-ish. We have a decent amount of soldiers, and we have a decent amount of retinues as well, which is important. Or rather, men-at-arms is what they call in Crusader Kings 3. We have levies, which is basically the people that come fight for you from your holdings. So the peasants, the people that are called upon during wartime. What you have as well is some knights. These are other character-like creatures in this world, who are personalities, like your spouse, for example, and they are very, very strong. Knights are extremely strong and really, 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 really important. You always want to have as many knights as you can because they are insane. They destroy levies almost on their own. And then we have some men-at-arms, which are just more professional soldiers. If you see the levies, it says down at the bottom, it has 10 damage and 10 toughness. That's basically what it is. They're meat shields. And then you have the men-at-arms. So you can see here, he does 34 damage and has 20 toughness. So that's 3 times as good as a levy and 2 times as good as a levy. There is a bit of a rock, paper, scissors thing going on here. So a heavy footman would be countered by, I believe, horsemen? Probably. They counter spearmen and archers. But they are a special kind of heavy infantry. They're called Zbronigosh. Heavy infantry sometimes does other things, so don't take this. But if we face against spearmen and archers, we're countering them, which is important at times. Then you have the light footmen. They counter heavy infantry. So if we're facing light footmen with our heavy infantry, even though they are objectively weaker, they have much less damage and toughness. They will offset some of what our heavy infantry can do. And then last but not least, we have some bowmen who then again offset skirmishes, which the light footmen are. So I think this is very solid composition, honestly, for our army. You can see this over here in the military thing. And they are yelling at us a little bit because they are unstationed. So let's get our army in order before we try something. And stationing troops is important because depending on where you put them, where they are, they might receive certain bonuses. So we click on this little stationed thing here, and you can see if we station them here in Gmer, they get +2 damage and +3.2 toughness because there are certain buildings here. We have a motte that is built here. And we have a motte here as well. But generally, likely our development is a little bit higher. So this is better here. We want to put our strongest forces stationed in our main thing. So we'll take our heavy infantry and put those into Gmer because they get +6.8 and +4, which is almost, I think it's more than double than what the archers would have gotten to be put in the same place. So if we remember right now, and that should be how it works, we have our heavy infantry. So they are currently doing 34 damage and 20 toughness is what they have. So let's station them here.
And there you go, 40 damage and 24 toughness. They are much, much stronger now. Okay, and the other ones, that doesn't really matter because both of these counties provide the same kind of bonuses. So we'll just put them in either. But keeping this in mind is important because in each of these holdings, and that's one of the things you need to do to remain competitive, to reach your goals here, is you need to build up your holdings. Now, focus on your main holding because due to succession, your realm might split between your children. What you have is going to be split among them. So it is important to retain the strongest piece for yourself. And money is what you're generally going to use depending on what your culture and, or rather your governance type is. So as feudal, we're going to use gold to build things. There's some, I think, tribal, you can build certain things with prestige as well. But yeah, we need to use money, and money is in short supply. We're only earning 2.4 at the moment, and we can't raid our neighbors because we're feudals. We're above these things. We're more civilized. We don't just walk in a neighboring country and be like, hey, give me all your money. We don't do that anymore. Right, so we remember that we put our heavy infantry in there. So if you look at some of these buildings, they will be like, okay, heavy cavalry here. They get plus 5%, plus 5%. They have other bonuses as well, which is important, you know. But keeping that in mind, you might want to look for something like, oh, if we build barracks, which we'll have to save up for a little bit, we will get a much larger bonus for heavy infantry. We'll get other things as well, which are definitely important to keep in mind. But yeah, this is something to absolutely consider. Like we could build some militia camps. Could build those pretty much immediately. We have the money, but it only affects archers and skirmishers, which isn't bad because we have those as well, right? So we could go ahead and build this where we put our skirmishers. It does more things, which might be relevant for you to consider. But, excuse me, but for the moment, the most important thing here is making the most of what you have, because everything is a bit limited. You want to make good choices. And one of the most important things is to consider income. How much money are you getting out of these? Because that's the only real way to push what you have. So this would give us plus 0.2. This would give us plus 0.2. This would give us plus 0.2. And all of these that are really interesting for us, they don't give us any income. Now, we have the problem, or the privilege, no, it's more of a problem, honestly, that our main holding here, again, each barony is even split a little bit more in various holdings, but we're concentrating on this barony. This barony is very bad. You have only 2 building slots. That's horrible. So whatever you put there, that's it for the moment. So really, we don't have all that many options to do anything sensible. So what we're going to do instead, we're going to take something that is a choice that goes kind of in all directions without leaving us feeling like we made a bad choice down the road, and we can afford it right now. That's the Hunter's Lodge. The Hunter's Lodge increases the hunt activity success chance, which is important later, and it gives us money. It increases how long a hostile raid has to stay in your county to get your stuff, which can be important if you're close to tribes or, you know, people that are allowed to raid. You get a defender advantage in battle, and you get 50 levies. Levies, again, are your very basic troop that you take into battle and into war. So we'll build the Hunter's Lodge. You can click on preview and see what it does down the road. So if you fully upgrade it, it'll give us a bunch of bonuses, which aren't too bad. Example here, your men-at-arms maintenance is going to go down a little bit, and your development growth goes up a little bit, which is important. So, but for now, hunting grounds is what we're going to build because we can afford it. It gives us income, so we're going to be better off. It gives us troops, which makes us a little bit stronger. And it doesn't really make any negative effects or a larger loss of things. Right? Expansion. We're still kind of on that. Keep that in mind. This is where your money goes. Your money goes not so much toward building up retinue and your men-at-arms, which is important as well. Like right now we can have 3 out of 3. That is because our count gives us +2, and we are Slovian, which is our culture, so this gives us +1. We're pretty strong with that. And they all have a size. So we have 3 out of 5 light footmen. That's 300 footmen. And 1 out of 5 for each of the others. But they cost money. And this is their base requirement, their base cost. This is what they cost us each month. So you can see we're losing more than 1.2 gold on 1.1 gold on maintenance here. As you can see here, if we look over that, unraised men-at-arms -1. If you raise them, if you go to war, they cost more. And you might bankrupt yourself by having too many of these. So don't increase the size. It costs money to do and to maintain. So right now, we want to have incomes. Now, we are paying some liege taxes, which is 0.4, but we're also getting some vassal taxes from the cities within our realm, which is Borsod and Abov. Or rather, yeah, no, that's fine. I don't know why it says Mikl. It's probably... I'm not entirely sure why the names are a little bit different here, but such is the beauty of this game. It should be these two, but no idea. Or maybe the cities don't show up here. Yeah, okay. These are the cities, not these. These are the county holdings that we hold. These are the cities. See, even I've played this and the predecessor for a really long time, and even I get a little bit confused here and there. And then reading and understanding, okay, wait, my barony is several bits, so we're looking at these are our own holdings, so it's not clearly them. No, it's these cities. So if we're looking at our income here, these 2 cities provide us the money that goes straight to our liege, basically. Yeah, we can try and reduce our tax burden from our liege, but it's not too high. What we're looking for is an easy mark. Now, as you start the game, check on this after you set your lifestyle focus and all that. And it says we need a court physician, which is important for our survival, because if we die, that's not good for us. We need guardians, and we need a wet nurse. So these here, the guardian doesn't really cost us nothing, but a wet nurse, that costs us money. So let's see, what does a wet nurse even do? What is she important for? So it costs us 0.25 money, gold, to employ her. And we need a court physician as well, which also costs us money. And that's a little bit more important. But, so she gives us court grandeur. Doesn't really matter to us. Reduce the chance of children contracting an illness. Not too important at the moment. Possibility for child development events. That's a little bit more important. Increasing... what kind of person you have, that's what kind of heir you might have. I'm not sure if it's worth 0.25 gold income right now. So we are not going to employ a wet nurse, but we are going to look to put in a court physician here. And for the moment, you can see the aptitude here. Everyone's kind of bad at it. So you take the least bad and that's more important potentially, pick someone who doesn't hate you. So this lady here, she thinks Catholicism is evil. This lad here thinks Catholicism is evil. So this is a heavy negative of -30. This goes into the survival thing. This is an important choice because your court physician is someone who works very closely with you. And there are going to be people who want to kill you. And there's a plot that they can do to try and kill you, murder you, assassinate you in your sleep. Now, you don't want the people in charge of your life very close to you, and that is the following people: your spy master, your physician, your wife, or your bodyguard. None of these should hate you. None of these should have a significantly high negative opinion of you. So instead, what we're going to do is we could use our wife as our court physician. She's not really great at it. Alternatively, we could use our bishop. It's important that he likes us, because his income is added basically to our income here. And if we put him as a court physician, his learning skill might improve, which immediately also improves how he works as our bishop. So you can't replace your bishop, really. So you're stuck with the person you have. And I think that's what we're going to do as well. So we're going to take our bishop and turn him into our court physician, so he becomes a little bit better over time. This warning here is what I just told you about. Your court physician is, if they are being recruited against you in a plot to kill you, for example, a very powerful agent. They are very important in that. Same as your wife, same as your bodyguards, same as your food taster, same as your cupbearer, all the people who are really bodily close to you. These are the people you need to be careful not to put someone who hates you or someone who's likely to hate you. So we now know it's important that our bishop likes us, because if we look in our court, first of all, he is kind of close to us now that he is our court physician as well. But if we look at our council, he's over here. So he has this is special to him. He's the only counselor who has this. The realm priest endorses us. Right now, the realm priest doesn't give us much, but eventually the taxes that we get out of him are going to be important. So we want to ensure that our court priest actually likes us. We actually want to ensure everyone here likes us, especially our spy master, because they are also incredibly strong in plots against us. So this is our court. These are all the people that we have here. And we're still in the setup phase of the game. I know, it's a lot, but setting this and understanding these concepts really makes a difference for anything that comes next. If you unpause the game, you are inviting fate to start steering the ship. So make sure that your ship is properly prepared, and I'm trying to get you to do that. So let's start with the bishop. The bishop needs to like you. So that's important. We have the plus 30% sway. Now, no one here really loves us. Let's be honest. So instead of swaying him, he's at plus 10. That's good enough for me at the moment. And the minus 18 for short reign over here is going to go away over time anyway. So since we are virtuous, we are forgiving. He has a permanent plus 10. We are very good at diplomacy, which is a permanent plus 8. He's our court physician, which gives us permanent plus 5, and he has the same faith plus 5. So he's going to be fine. You don't need to look at him. He's going to be fine as well, but he's ambitious on top of it. And that's a problem, because ambitious characters are going to be looking out for themselves more so than for anyone else. So let's try and sway. We right-click him, and we start the sway scheme. We have a 95% chance of getting that. Because our base is 50, then we get, we're the same language, plus 5. Our diplomacy skill is incredibly high. So already just this is 87. Our rank is higher, so plus 10. Well, we're at even over that, but our diplomacy skill here comes in, that's the plus 30 basically. And the maximum success chance you can have is 59%. It's never 100. You can't get to 100, I don't think. So we'll start the scheme, and we'll just be nice to him and try and make him a little bit nicer. Now, someone else you might notice here is your wife. The Countess. She is part of your council as well. She should be. And you can choose a task for her, what she should be doing. So you can use her to assist ruler, which gives you a bonus on all of these. So this goes directly into your skills over here. 16, 8, 1, 6. So if we go with this, we're going to be at 17, 9, 10, 3, 2, and 7. That's what it gives it. Or we can put her to a specific task. Like, she's not very good at court politics, but we are, so we don't need her to be. she's very good at chivalry, which we are not great at. She's very, very good at managing the domain because she is, I think, a level 4 person in the domain management. So we could get some bonuses everywhere or a really big bonus here, which is important for our income and anything else in that relation. So I'm going to set her to manage our domain. You see, this immediately jumps up. We personally are fickle, so we get a -2 here. But our spouse is offsetting this a little bit. And you can see this immediately has a direct impact on our taxes. So we get more money. It went up from 0.4 to 0.5. Every little bit counts, especially early on. So that was a good choice, in my opinion. Now, since she's no longer assisting us as a ruler, we are at 0 intrigue. Meaning that, well, if we try to do something intriguey, like murder someone or blackmail someone, it's not going to go well for us. We're not cut out for that kind of stuff. Let's look at our other chancellors. We're going to get back to our bishop in just a moment. But let's check everyone else here. So our chancellor, he is working on foreign affairs. Now, foreign affairs sounds like a good idea, but it isn't. It gives us plus prestige, which is one of the other things here. It's important eventually. But for the moment, if we look at his skill and he's not good, we could try and switch him out for someone who's better, like this lad Koloman here. But he's going to hate us for it if you do that. But it's fine. He's not an important vassal to us at all. If they're important, powerful, you get this little fist icon here. He's not. He's terrible at what he does. So there's really no reason to have him, especially since we have someone with the 12 diplomacy. So that's better for us. He's a courtier who does really nothing except for live in our court. So we'll assign him instead. He's going to hate us for it for 10 years. He's not going to like that. But he has to go. So now we have a plus 12 diplomacy. And now we have a little bit less of a red flag here. Now the problem with bad chancellors or chancellors that aren't too great is one red text down here. Enemy claim. That's a problem. If it's red, it means this can go against you. And you don't want your chancellor to do something that gives an enemy a claim on your holdings so they can declare war on you and take your stuff. That's not something you want. So instead, we're going to go with something here where it says increase vassal opinion and internal war. Force petition for vassal, lowered vassal opinion in red. So this is fine. We don't need it in that sense. It doesn't really help us, but it doesn't hurt us either. You know, all the other effects are kind of not important. So we're going to go for internal affairs on him. Now, our steward. First of all, let's check if we have a better steward. And we do. Our knight Thor is a little better. He is a powerful vassal though. So that's a problem. Not at the moment right now. Or generally, honestly. If your vassal is a powerful vassal, but he is only the ruler of a city. You can tell over there. Oh no, the tooltip is too far away. I can't reach the way I set it up. But over in the tooltip, kind of at the bottom, you can see city of Misgulge, and it's a barony in a republic. So he's a traitor. He doesn't have troops. It doesn't really matter if he hates you. They don't have to be on the council. There's going to be warnings about it. Put them on the council. They want a council position. They don't have to be there. We are a meritocracy here. Okay, so we put the people in that are actually good at what they do. So we're going to put in our boy Stibor, is how I'm reading that name. And check our plus 2.5. So we put him in. He's going to hate us. It's fine. He's going to hate us even more than the other guy because he's a powerful counselor. And he's going to hate us for -40 because he deserves that council seat. He doesn't, but that's what he thinks. So this doesn't go up too much at the moment, but it's fine. He's going to do much better here. So what he does now is increase our domain taxes, 7%, and we have a possible extra taxes that he collects because he's so good at it. We could go for promote culture or increase development in the county. Now, increased development isn't a bad idea. This is a flat money thing, you know. Development comes into the whole survival thing. As I said, there's a chance that you are going to be left with only one holding, and that is the one you start out with generally, unless you move the seat of your crown. Which we're not going to do because we don't actually have anything that's better than this place here anyway. So, development. Look at this. Levies increased by 2.0%. Taxes increased by 2%. Supply limit, not super important right now. Holy site, Rome plus 10%. That's just how it is calculated at the bottom there. Now, development going up means people you can pull to war going up and taxes you get going up. The higher this is, the better it is. And it spreads as well. So a high development place spreads over in other places. You can see these different modes here on how to look at the map. And I think there's a development. So we click on this. And let's see, where is the Byzantine Empire there? The yellow ones are the ones that have the highest development. Yeah, so Constantinople has 25. The centers of Europe, you know, over here where Paris is and everything, 15. And everything that's kind of purplish, red-ish isn't really great. So we are in the worst category, really. So we might want to go for higher development, but this is not going to remain the seat of our family forever. So right now, I don't think going for development is super sensible. We're going to go find ourselves a nicer place to call home eventually. So we're not going to invest in development just now. Let's go back to our council. So he's in a good position. He just collects taxes. That's fine. He doesn't like us too much. We might want to sway him eventually. But first, let's get our spy master in gear here. See, do we have a better marshal? Nope, he's the best for the job. You can see here. You can sort it as well, but I believe it's kind of pre-sorted, sort of. And he's fine. What he's doing is he's organizing the army. So he reduces the maintenance for our men-at-arms, meaning more money for us. It's important. He could also go and train commanders, which is also not bad. He increases the effectiveness of our men-at-arms and our knights, which, again, they're really strong. And there's a chance he can get us new knights, which can be in short supply. So the levy reinforcement rate is not bad. Raised army maintenance, minus 10%. It's a bit of a thing. Like, you might want to put him on organized army during war and on trained commanders outside of war. So we're going to put him on trained commanders for now. It's not going to affect our money immediately because, again, this only applies the raised army maintenance when they are active, not while they're sitting around. And we don't need a levy reinforcement rate because if we look up here, you can see our levy is 970. Well, we are at full strength. 970 out of 970. So we haven't gone to war, so there's really nothing wrong. Last but not least, our spy master here. Let's check if he's actually good, and I think with a skill of 13, he's probably the best option we have. And so he is. What is he doing? He is disrupting schemes against us, or supporting our schemes, or finding secrets. We'll do that. We'll keep him to defend us against enemy schemes against us. That's all we really need to know at the moment. That's all we're gonna do. Right. Let's continue. Now we have set our court to be as we need it. Our council. We could look at our liege's council, which is where we are in. Like, we are the chancellor here. We are clearly the most qualified overall, I think, almost. And yeah, that's fine. We get something out of it. We get +1 prestige. And fellow vassals, like this lad here, they think higher of us. And our diplomacy lifestyle experience goes up. So, we could try and attack this guy. He is within our realm, but we have no casus belli. I need to drink a spot of water here. Bear with me for a second. So, expanding in this direction here is an option, but we can't do it. And this is where we get a little bit into diplomacy, how it works in Crusader Kings 3. Crusader Kings 3 is a relational game in that sense. So, you need reasons for almost anything you can do. Like, there needs to be some underlying cause, something that allows you to do the thing that you're trying to do. Especially wars, you need a casus belli, so a reason to go to war. And we don't have that with him. There are ways of getting it. For example, we could try and find someone in his line of succession who has a claim on his titles. We could invite them, marry him into our lineage, and then press that claim later. We could fabricate a claim, which our priest can do. So he goes there and he just kind of looks through all the old archives and he's like, hey, look at this old piece of paper. That says this is actually ours. Didn't you know? So we're not going to do any of that, because if we can't declare war on him, he's unlikely to also have a casus belli on us, honestly. So why? Instead, what we're going to do is we're going to see if we can't make him an ally. So to make an ally, you need someone to marry. In our case, we have 2 children. And then they need to be of your dynasty. They can't be anyone, right? They need to be of your dynasty. Now, our children are a little bit, they're not super attractive, sadly. Our daughter is a dwarf, just like her mother. But that decreases her attraction opinion quite a bit. And our son is a bit homely, so he's not super good looking. But that's not their only value. The problem is that these are inheritable. So let's see. We'll try and give him our daughter first. And you're looking for this icon here. Potential alliance with the county of Orava. Now he's going to probably take it. But, as I said earlier, we want to make sure that our daughter marries matrilineally. So he's probably not going to want that. He will not accept it. It's minus 900. The matrilineal marriage gives minus 1000. So we'll take that away. And he is interested in doing this. He's interested in doing this. So I'm going to take this risk. I'm going to take the risk of losing the bloodline on our daughter for a possible line of succession to get this alliance, because it's immediate. It's right here. And we're going to need it to help expand, stay strong, be protected. And both of us could now fight against our liege. Or he might not help, or whatever. So let's send a proposal. Let's make this alliance between 2 friends and counselors reality. Now, I still have a boy who needs a match. Now that we have secured one alliance, we could go with another. We could, for example, make a countess here our next target, which would mean, because she's marrying patrilineal, as boys do, when she dies, all the titles she has go to him and his heir. She is the Duchess of the county of something. Now, is she the Countess of something? I'm not entirely sure. Let me check. Now, she has just a whole bunch of claims, and these are pretty good. She has a claim on the Duchy of Anjou. But you would get all these. If it has this golden shield with a plus, it means pressed claim. And pressed claims means if they die and they have an heir, it's going to go to the heir. So every heir in this line will be basically eligible to press a claim and fight to get this. But several problems here. It's far away, and we would have to fight France itself. And I know a lot of players who are like, oh yeah, that's a great thing, and I'm going to do that. No, we're not going to do that. That's weird. we're going to look at our own little area down here. So first things first, ignore everything that's not immediately next to you in culture. So there's a lot of Franconian, French, whatever. If you want to go with an alliance or, you know, a title or something. What I'm more interested in is keep in mind the age difference, right? Our son is 0. He's just born. So if they marry, and they can marry, I think, starting at age 16. So once they turn 16, they marry. And if the age difference is 24, that means when he is 16, she is going to be 40. And at a certain age, women become less likely to conceive children. And you don't want to do that. You can go a little bit closer and select this filter here. And you can go with an age difference. So you can go and say, okay, the maximum age difference should be 5. So now you are only shown children that are closer in age. You can also narrow it down a little bit more by going for example culture. So you can go for, let's check if there are any Slovians, which is our culture. So they are kind of close. So we could get a alliance with this high chiefdom over here, which is very close and very large and quite strong. So this here would be a good match. This little Lada. And he will accept it as well. He's superior to us, but he has his reasons. Let's see what they are. He wants alliance because he doesn't have them right now, which is also a reason not to unpause immediately when you get into the game. So he thinks we're a good matchmaker. He likes us. We're all speaking the same language. She's marrying down, which is heavy, -40. So we're going to take it. We get an ally with 1,600 troops. This is incredible. This is what you want. It's not going to pop up immediately, but once we unpause, it's going to come in. Right. We need a guardian for our daughter. And we could pick anyone here. But we're going to go ahead and take our wife, or who do we take? Someone who is a high learning skill, basically, is good as a tutor. So we'll take this lady here. Though she hates us and she's not Catholic. So let's see. Our steward and knight. The person you give your child to as a guardian is going to be a little bit happier about it. So maybe our wife can do it. That's fine. Doesn't really matter too much. But you can see plus 15 opinion of us. So our wife likes us better. And again, our wife is one of the people that definitely should absolutely like us. There's some more options here, and we're going to try and romance and seduce her, because while being our spouse and our wife, she might not actually love us. And having a lover or a soulmate, which can come out of romancing, is very important. Very, very important. Because it's a huge opinion bonus. It's basically a constant plus 100, and you're safe from your own home and house. So now we have steeled ourselves. We're going to unpause by pressing space, or you can just click here. And now the events are going to start rolling on. There's a lot of stuff going on all the time. So stick to the 3 speed. Don't go too high for now. So this guy, which we just talked to, he is happy, and we're going to go ahead with the betrothal with our heir and his lovely little daughter, the Lada. I don't know why I call her the Lada. That is kind of unfair. And our friend over here, he is also accepting our betrothal suggestion. So now we have 2 allies. We can see this over here. If we go into our own character, again, pressing F1 or clicking on the little icon, you can see our alliances. And you can see that in others as well. Generally, you might not know too much about someone who's too far away, but this is generally information that you have. So you can see how it is made, the alliance. We are allied through the marriage between Viera Smoleniki and Horislav Divinsky. So this is our girl and his boy. That's how we are married. This is important information if you ever want to break an enemy alliance. You just go ahead, look at who they are married through and allied through, and then you just kill one of them or both of them, depending. But killing one generally ends the alliance, and that's that. So if you ever want to break an alliance, this is how you do it, and it might be important and required. But we're still looking to expand. So where could we go? We could go here to the High Chiefdom of Ungvar, but we don't have a casus belli again. We could go here. No, we can't go here because we don't have any reason to go to war. Now, let's get back to our councillors. We could go ahead and send him to fabricate a claim on the county. We might make whoever we're doing that with angry that we're doing that with. We also, you know, might get a claim. Now, fabricating a claim is going to cost us money once it pops up. We will have to invest in making those documents and all that kind of stuff. So keep that in mind. There are other ways to get a casus belli, for example, through religious differences, a holy war, stuff like that. So we're going to have to shop around a little bit. If you have a casus belli, generally this is going to show you, and it's going to show you how strong they are as well. But right now we have no reasons to go to war against anyone except our own dear Duke. We have that. We have that. So let's see what actually is what we can do. We could wage a war for independence. We don't have the prestige to do it. So that's what you need prestige for as a feudal lord. We would absolutely win this with our allies. But we don't have the prestige, and really it doesn't help us too much at the moment. We want to grow in different directions. So this here looks interesting. So we're going to go ahead, fetch our court chaplain, our bishop, and send him over there. Now, I'm not quite sure why certain things are highlighted green here. I think it's a quality of chance of getting it. If you can see monthly progress plus 2.9 here and plus 4.6 there. So yeah, it's better. So we're gonna go for Zemplin over there. That's where he's gonna work on now. You can see his little icon there, and it's gonna fill up around here, so you know the progress is going on. Now, strong, being strong. We have a relationship with our liege, and we can try and modify our vassal contract. Right now, it's all pretty standard. Yeah, we could be like, okay, I give you more troops, and in return, you're gonna give me, for example, you can't revoke my titles, or I'm guaranteed to have a seat on your council. He's not going to accept just this. Give me a right, you know. It's a give and take. We could also try to just, okay, I want to pay less taxes, but I'm going to give you more people. So that's fine, you know. That's okay. We could go for less people and more taxes instead. That's generally how it goes. You could try and get your vassal contract a little bit changed, depending on what you want to try and achieve. I'll leave it as it is right now. And we'll unpause the game, wait for the new events popping up. See what's going on. You can dismiss these messages by just right-clicking. Oh, interesting. So, our liege has declared war on someone. He's going to war. I don't know with whom. Actually, it's not our liege, it's our king. Our king has declared war on someone. Who has he declared war on? On Bulgaria. Interesting. Okay. So he has 1,700 troops, and he has allies of 2,600. So that goes a little around 4,000 troops all in all. And he's fighting Bulgaria, who has 3,000 for themselves. Now that's all in all. That's already allies plus himself. Interesting. Okay. So he might win this. What are they fighting over? It's... Let's see. What are they fighting over? Oh, wait. I'm sorry. No, they're not fighting Bulgaria. They're allied with Bulgaria. They are fighting the Grand Prince Almos over here, who is attacking with a lot. 7,455 against their almost 5,000. That's not good. And oh yeah, they come with horse archers. 2,000 horse archers. Yeah, living close to these steppe folk is a dangerous proposition. And they are fighting to migrate into the kingdom of Pannonia. So basically, if they win this, they're going to take all this. It's a dangerous place for us to be, honestly. Are we part of that? Oh god, we might be part of that. Parts of us are part of that. These parts are part of that. So, we're probably not going to make much of a difference, but what we can do is we can go ahead and offer this guy to join his war. We could also offer it to our liege, I hope. No, he's not the leader. You can only offer it to the leader of the war. So you can send your troops and try and help. They already get a certain amount of troops from your holdings, but it's not a lot. Okay, we can't offer to join his war either because he's not our direct ally, so they are on their own. We'll see how it goes. I don't think they can take bits of this, but we'll have to see. I don't think they win. They're gonna lose. Generally, the unit compositions aren't very good against horses early on because very few people have pike. So I'll just have to wait and see a little bit. And this is how the early game often runs. You do all the base setup, get your ducks in the row, and then what happens is the waiting game. All right. So now, after an hour and 15 minutes, you know all the basics on how to get started in a game of Crusader Kings 3. That's it. But now we're going to play a little bit. And we'll see what goes on and how we deal with it. So, what I'm doing right now, where I'm just kind of sitting and waiting, a lot of people are going to tell you, oh, you're doing it wrong. You have to constantly be doing things. I don't believe in that. I will deal with the things as they come. So, an event popped up. I don't know what caused it, but we'll see. The negotiator. Let's talk about this real quick. You can read all the flavor text and then make a choice, or you can just look at the choices and see what's best. What has the most interesting green stuff you want, and then pick that. We're gonna go with the flavor text for today. So, during my afternoon stroll down the streets of Gemer, my daughter Viera runs up to me. Father, they just started swinging at another when... What does that mean? She's interrupted by a high-pitched shriek, turning our attention to the fight down the street. The combatants appear to be a couple of pages from my court, circling each other in preparation for another tussle. So we could go ahead and further our child's diplomatic education focus, but let's be honest, we're marrying her off. She's not going to do much for us. It doesn't really matter. So we are going to go ahead and break it up ourselves, getting the prestige and our lifestyle experience. Now, if she were to remain in our court, that I would have chosen the other option, because that way we would have built her up to be a more interesting and more capable ruler. So that's important. Eventually, not now. Oh, okay. These might be retreating armies. Yeah, I think they're retreating armies. They were beaten. You can say how they kind of split up and everything. They're kind of running around. So he has lost the first engagement. And you can already see minus 4%. It's going down. We're also being raided up here. So some of our less savory neighbors are attacking into the kingdom. Oh, wait. No, sorry. I am being raided. I don't see no raids on my lands. I don't know where that popped up. Maybe someone walked through our lands. So Bulgaria, I think they got themselves some mercenaries here. The 1,000 are probably mercenaries. Now they have no man-at-arms, so I don't know where they come from. Ah, I think these are the raiders. Okay, so he's going to come for us again. And we don't want that. So we'll raise our full contingent of troops as he comes walking into our lands, trying to raid us. We make sure we have a good commander. Now, we could command ourselves, but it's a little bit dangerous. Why is it dangerous? Because we might die in battle. Our martial skill is fairly high. Also due to leading our own soldiers in this. We might do it. We'll take the risk. We'll command our own troops, defending our people. So he's moving currently. And we don't actually see where he's going. But he's probably going there. Oh no, he's coming here. So we're just going to stay there. And he fell on top of us. So let's look at a fight right now. He came to take my gold out of my holdings. Or to walk to somewhere where he can do it. I don't care. But he's attacking us, and I don't like it. So we're going to defend our troops, our holdings, so they don't become raided. Because if they're raided, that's bad for the economy, that's bad for everything. So right now you can see the battle here. He has a much higher martial skill than us. And he has horses, which we are not countering at all. And the horses are fighting in terrain where they're good. You can see this slider here, kinda, where you get an idea of how it's going to go. I don't fully understand all of what we're seeing here, even hundreds of hours in. Yeah. So let's walk through this together. I'm gonna zoom away a little bit so the battle sounds dissipate. And we're gonna look at all this and try and figure out. First, we have the terrain. So movement speed, combat width, 100%, so nothing positive or negative for either side, neither the attacker nor the defender. Now, I already said our commander advantage is 12 and his is 23 because he's just better. But he has Connie raids, which I don't know why that puts him down, doesn't really matter. Now, our men-at-arms here, we are not too great. We have more knights than him. He has only 3 champions. We're bringing 5 knights. And ours are, well, not super great, but we have more of them anyway. And we have these people here. And you can see by the coloration, like some of them are being slightly countered. These are being fully countered. The bowmen are just completely taking them out, basically. Whereas my men-at-arms are only, losing 10% of the damage they're dealing, which is still very high. It's more than his guys are doing. Our bowmen are countered by the light horsemen, dealing only 55% of damage that they could, and these guys are basically worthless now. So our bowmen are countering his guys as well, and our heavy infantry is countering his archers, so yeah, more or less equal on everything. So here we have some battle phases, basically. So early battle phase, ordered retreat will be possible in the last battle phase, so that's here. If we want to retreat the battle, we can do it here. It's advisable if you have a really big battle going on, you might want to slow it down a little bit so you can go through the phases properly, otherwise it just ticks by immediately. And each phase gets like a decision on whether or not you are winning or they are winning that particular phase. So right now, if the army is defeated in the early battle phase, it will be completely destroyed. Okay. I think it's just kind of the same tooltip for everything. But let's see. Advantage, +2 in favor. So we have a +2 advantage because, let's look at this. We are defending a river crossing, so they have to cross a river to get to us. Our command and martial skills +7. Our battle roll, which is the number we see over here. Every phase gets a roll, is +2, so that goes in there. We're leading our own troops, and the harsh winter is actually in our favor. He is just very good at what he's doing. His battle roll is higher, and he's leading his own soldiers as well. But the Connie raids, for some reason, decreases his stuff. I don't know. He gets some positives out of it as well. Like all his troops are slightly better, and his losses are less. So, yeah, it's okay. It's a cultural thing for him. So let's see how it keeps playing out. So you can see how many people retreat, or rather are casualties through routing. Our battle rolls are consistently better than him right now, so I'm quite sure we're going to win this. The more this goes into either direction, you have a better idea. I've never really seen it go one direction and then reverse through later battle phases. So I'm confident that we're going to win this right now. Oh, okay, we have a problem. A slight problem now. That might actually be an actual issue. We lost one of our knights. The mayor here, he was killed in the battle, which, you know, isn't too bad. We kicked him out of our council. He kind of hated us for it anyway. Oh no, he was our spy master. Oh, damn. That's actually a problem. Okay, let's... we need a new spy master. Ideally someone who likes us. He's our marshal and our knight. So we could go ahead and reassign him to be our spy master. But then we need a new marshal. So let's check. We have someone who's level 9. Kveta here. Could be. Fine. Or we have a level 9 spy master, but that's him. So really, we can only reassign our existing guys. So we're going to go and reassign our marshal over to this. And then we're going to get... oh no, where did she go? Okay, you can't put women into the marshal seat. So, yeah, we're going to get our knight here. Why does he hate us? Short reign, cultural acceptance, fired from council. Oh, whoops. That was him. Okay, well, fine. Still okay. Let's put him to levy reinforcements, though. Let's go out of the battle. Because now we're going to lose people. You can see down here, we're down to... like 50 men have fallen. They need to be replenished, and he's going to speed that up. Back to the battle. Our sway scheme also stops. You can see it actually moved quite significantly. Now we're in a late battle phase. So if the army is defeated in the early battle phase, which is like right there, I think, it will be completely destroyed. But we are now in the late. So if we right-click anywhere on the map, right now, we are ordering a retreat. An orderly retreat. So we would suffer less losses than if we fight it out and we're losing at the end. But looking at all this for the Battle of Borsod, it's looking kind of good. We have more people. We have less people routed so far who fled the battlefield. And again, we keep getting better rolls. He's a cautious leader, so his maximum roll is 8, whereas ours is 10, because we're not that. But his minimum roll is also 4. Our minimum roll is nothing. Okay, so our knight was wounded. It's my main concern right now. If we keep losing our knights, that would be a big problem. Okay, he has the advantage now on this little phase right now. And back to us. So it's still going in our way. More or less. By the way, if, like me, you lose where you are, you can just click on this. Here's a nail biter. Okay, something to note here is he has lost most of his levies. So his army goes up to high quality. If we lose most of our levies, ours is also going to go up to high quality because the men-at-arms are mostly what's going to be left. If we look at this, he has 21 horsemen left, 69 light footmen, which isn't too bad because the light footmen we have almost fully under control with our own bowmen. Our light footmen are primarily still there, and our heavy infantry is still there. Like, we have lost a lot of levies, sure, but we have 3 times, 4 times, 5 times the amount of levies he has left, so this should be fine. Let's let it play out. Generally, you wouldn't look so closely at the battles because beside the late battle phase and starting a retreat, you can't really do much as the battle rages. But we've done fairly well here. You can see we're losing money because now that our retinues, our men-at-arms, are diminished, having lost men, they're going to have to recruit new ones and train them, and that's going to cost us money. More money than just having them stand around and do their thing. So we have achieved victory here. There's still... Now you have the punching the face and everything. Okay, look at that. That's vicious. So now it's more of a question of they're retreating and we are pursuing. How well are they going to deal with that? So they have a so-called screen here. And a screen reduces the amount of casualties they take as they retreat. So they have a lot of screen through the skirmishes and the horsemen, and I don't have a lot of pursuit. So they are probably going to get away pretty decently without losing too much during their retreat. But they do have to get away. And so they did. So they're going to limp off. And we see some more troops, but these are not enemy troops. These are our liege's troops from his fight. And you can see, why are they here? They have this little icon there, this little barley sack, basically. They are standing around here and resupplying. Your army, if we're looking at it, it has this supply here. Since we're at home, we have 100 out of 100, and we're not losing anything. Instead, we're actually getting something because we're at home. If you lose it, it goes down to 0. Your people start starving and perform very badly. So you will want to go back. But you can't just put a huge army on one little barony and be like, okay, everyone just put all their food there and it's going to be fine. No, each barony has a supply limit. So this barony here can support a maximum of 3,000 troops standing atop it. So you needn't necessarily spread it out like this. But he did. So our army is standing victorious here. We have survived. We didn't die. It's a dangerous thing. We could have, like our counselor did. But we have beaten him back. And we'll follow him as he walks and retreats out of our country. And once he is actually gone, and he has left us, we will stand down our troops. Now, we can't become raiders. Because we don't have anything that allows us to do it. Neither our culture nor our religion, I think. But just to be sure, let's check. So we're going to go check on ourselves. Check our culture. And what do we get here? So, this is what we are. Just information. Marshals. Only men can be commanders and knights. All good. We have mountaineer ruralism. So this gives us our men-at-arms. The Sprunush. The quarry line of buildings have additional bonuses. Okay. The hill farms line of buildings have additional bonuses. Alright. The rough terrain commander is more common, which is good because we have rough terrain a lot, so having a commander who's good in that is important. Some commander traits and personality traits have extra mountain bonuses. Again, decision to recruit mountain commanders. So all Slovenian characters in hills and mountains have less danger. That's more for traveling and stuff. We'll get to that eventually. And development growth in hills and mountains is up by 10%. So having mountainous and hilly terrain is good for us. We're equitable, So just and honest traits are more common. Characters in this culture are more willing to send away, take, and return hostages. All right. And the hostile scheme power is minus 30%. That's very strong. So people can't just intrigue against us. That's really, really strong. The innovations for the tribal thing, that's not much we can concern ourselves with right now, but that's basically all the things we have unlocked and can do so far. It's a little bit like a tech tree, but different. So we're going to stand down our army, so we have a little less upkeep. But we have to wait for the enemy army to retreat. And it looks like this has been changed. The distance needs to be greater now than it used to be. So we're going to move our army around a little bit. And now we can disband them. Make sure you disband them in your own lands. Or, you know, if it says when you disband, be careful, like you're losing people, don't disband. Move them somewhere safer. Let's check the after action report for our battle. So we gained 72 prestige out of this fight. No war score because we weren't at war. We just fought off some raiders here. You can click on the details and you're going to see the knights probably being really, 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 really crazy. Yeah. So we lost one knight, but they killed 64 men. His is even better. 86 kills and 0 losses. But if you compare it to everyone else, like the Lightfoot are 60-60, 50-30, 66, 126. The knights are incredible. And there's ways of even improving them even further. So that's kind of insane. You could go by losses as well. The levies are usually the loss leaders that you have. Our light footmen got pretty battered. And the horses, they did really well. And our heavy infantry did also really well. But now we have an idea of what we're facing here. So we're down a knight. What do we do about that? We want our knights to be full. Well, we're not down. We still have some knights. But they're, you know, they're not the best bunch. Now, what do? We go and look at our court. Because again, this is all a strength matter. You just saw how powerful knights are in battle. They're really important. So we want to ensure that we have a steady supply of knights. How do we do that? We make sure that our courtiers are married and that they create children. Now, first of all, maybe we can demand a conversion because she's Sloviansky Pravda, and we'd rather have her be a Catholic. So she will accept this. To convert. And once she's done that, we're going to arrange a marriage for her. And we'll marry her off to our steward and knight. So she will go ahead. They're all lowborn. If they have this little thing here, it doesn't really matter. We want to make sure that she stays, that she and him, that they have children, which then can grow up to be knights in our realm. So the guest doesn't really matter to us. Let's see. We don't have all that many women, honestly. She's the only one. Let's see if we can't find more wives for our guys here. First of all, we want to check, do they have religious issues? No? Good. Then let's go and find a spouse for them. Okay, there are some, not a lot, but some out there that would marry. And they're quite old, so we only really have her as an option. But she'll take it. Let's see, our spy master. Oh, he has some more options. Oh, and avoid red traits, so they don't go bad. And if you can find someone who's in good health, that's great, because they live longer and they are much more likely to actually get through childbearing and stuff. So we're just gonna marry our court now. It's wedding season. Okay, so this guy is not gonna get nothing. We already arranged with him, I think. Yeah. Our bishop can't marry, so that's it. We're bringing wives to almost everyone, so they can have children, and those children can come. Can grow up in our court. We could, of course, find guests and invite people, which is in the activities here, Very good. We're going to get a lot of proposal, invitation, accepted things now, so we'll just click those away. It's all good. I've never seen it be rejected if the tooltip said that it's going to be accepted, so I don't really think it's an issue. Now, we could go ahead and we have no pending invitations. But there's a grand tournament going on. We could join it, but we can't arrive there, so it doesn't really matter. Let's see. We could hunt, we could feast, we could do all these kinds of things, and hunting would give us some prestige, which isn't bad. Could go on a grand tour. Well, actually we can't, because we don't have enough vassals and we're not a duke. We could try and arrange a grand tournament, but it costs a lot of money. Well, actually, that's... How's that us? Why am I looking at the Basilius here? What? How? Okay, something is wrong right now. Because this costs 395, it says we're missing 10. But we have 65 gold, so that's not really... I don't know what that means, why that is the way it is. But these are the things we could do. I was looking to maybe recruit someone. Ah, that's where we are. There we go. Recruit a mountain specialist. So this will also cost us gold and prestige, but it's a good idea. It's a good investment, I think. So we'll send out our herald and look for a commander that has the rough terrain expert thing. And there he is. He joined our court. So now we have a really good knight who we will immediately marry off. Let's find someone who's good. Okay. Only bad inheritable traits. Though Giant is actually pretty good. Honestly. It's a minor health penalty, but the prowess goes up by +6. So I don't think Giant is all that much of an issue, honestly. She's a little bit old. But I think we want giants in our world here. Okay, very good. So let's go ahead and make sure that this lad is a knight. He may take the place of a knight with higher prowess. He's our best one, so he'll be forced to be a knight. Yeah, very good. Could forbid certain people from being our knights, our heir, for example, to avoid them possibly dying in battle. Okay, so she converted to Catholicism. Let's check our court again. I would like to ensure... Let's see, do we have a religion sorting here? No, we do not. Okay, so you could invite him, but it's going to cost you money, and it's usually a pretty unreasonable amount of money that they want to be invited to court. If you check this here, 35 gold, hello, are you insane? I have 50. But they might be really good at something. He is actually, his prowess is terrible, but he would be a fairly good commander still. So our liege and Bulgaria are heavily losing against the Khazars. Well, they're not the Khazars. They are the... Oh boy. The Magyar? The Magyar? Magyar? Not sure. So that's going on right now. We're fine with his troops kind of sitting there and waiting. Alright, yeah. More marriage proposals being accepted. And we're working on getting the claim on his little bit here. It's good that he fought us raising his troops like this. We could raise our troops again right now and fight him on his own land because we are still hostile to him. We could do that. So he's going to be even weaker when we finally go and attack him after we've gotten this claim. But that's going to cost us some gold, and I don't know how much the claim will cost us, so we'll wait. We'll wait. Let's check our courtiers again. We don't need anyone here. Court grandeur. Court tutor could help. Some bodyguards. Personal champion. Don't really need that. I'm looking for someone who increases development. But I don't really see it. Some of these you can't have unless you have a certain rank. Like you need to be a emperor or something like that. So him having his troops raised is actually a problem for him. And now he's standing them down. So now they can start regenerating. And so they do. But maybe we get our claim against him before he has a real good chance of, you know, regenerating his full strength. We are definitely ahead of him on that. That's for sure. Still a little bit worried about his horse. Because those gave us some trouble. But we'll see. See, the good thing about being a duke, or a count, rather, I don't have to worry about any of this. This happens entirely independently of us around us. It just doesn't matter to us. This is our universe. This is what we need to be concerned about. And, of course, all the health considerations and life considerations. Let's speed up a little bit more. Koloman has been a real help. Which one of you is Koloman? He's our chancellor. And there's a foreign ruler here. I don't care about you. He has just offered himself again to help me gain Chieftain Gaviel's trust. Oh, very good. All right. So, we could be... We shall remember your kindness. So he gets an opinion, but he becomes our friend. Which immediately puts his opinion of us, I think, to 100. So we'll absolutely take that. Okay, it's not 100, but he's our friend now, which is plus 60. So he'll be really happy with us overall. I'll find you a spouse somehow, sometime, somewhere. I'm so sorry I haven't yet. But that's good. He's our chancellor and he's our friend. So he's even less likely to work against us. Which is very good. Oh, we are not swaying anyone and we are not... Let's go ahead and seduce our wife. Our romancer. Oh, 0% chance. Oh boy. Can we seduce her? 50% chance. Okay. Let's seduce her then. Maybe she becomes our lover. That's not as nice as, you know. I like that they put the flowers and the bees there. That's a great icon choice. So, yeah, this is more about sex rather than love. Okay, okay, very good. So, he can give us an unpressed claim on this county, but we're going to lose 62 gold, which is a problem. And not a small one. We can check in our decisions if we can ask our head of faith for some money. But I don't think we can. So, either we don't take this now, which would lose all our progress and he has to start over, or we take it and we go into the red on our money, which we can't afford. So if we took it now, that's not good for us. We're not going to go in the red. If you have no money, everything you own deteriorates. Bandits are going to set up on your borders. They're going to ruin you. Ruin you, I tell you. So don't do it. Well, not necessarily always don't do it, but try and avoid it as best you can. So let's check his progress. Nope, he's still... And there's no one else joining this fight here, so... We might soon see these hordes come in and mop up this. They have no chance. Generally, number superiority doesn't mean everything. It's not the most important thing. But if you don't have significantly higher quality or really, really great knights and a lot of chivalry and stuff, which improves knights even further, then you're kind of done for. You will lose. You can offset a lot through terrain and whether or not you're the defender or whether or not they're crossing a river or if they're even landing from ships, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's really just not everything. Oh, very nice. Our neighbor is being raided. And our hunter's lodge is built. So we could go on a hunt. But we're saving up to get that claim here. So why I enjoy him being raided is because that's not good for him. It really isn't. We'll see it in a moment, once he's done being raided here. Alright. So this place is now raided. Recently looted. Building construction time goes down. Holding taxes go down. Development growth goes down. So that's not good. You don't want that. Okay, so... Oh yeah, we're still trying to get our love here going. What would she like as a gift? It doesn't cost us anything apparently, which is nice. So she's sadistic and wrathful and greedy. I don't think any of these here, so probably a silver locket for her. Aha, very good. So this has given us a bonus, a budding interest. This was a good choice. So we got a scheme success of plus 15%. You can see it down here. Very good. So if we click on this here, we're at 50% there. She doesn't like that we are content. She doesn't like that we are forgiving. Twice, actually. She hates it twice. But now that we have this, we're at 65% chance of success of seducing our own wife. Let's hope the raiders just walk through and don't attack us, because honestly we don't have the troops to fend them off. Okay, we can put our counselor back on training the commanders. We might actually replace him with our vassal knight that we got here. Corsell? Yeah. So he's fired twice now. Oh man, he's got to be mad. But it's just so much better to have someone with a high skill. Look at that. It's all green. All green. All systems go. Sometimes I forget to unpause. It's just such a nice game. All right. Very good, very good, very good, very good. So what could you do in the downtime? Look at things happening. We could plan a grand tour. I don't understand why it says that. I don't have the money for this. Why are you telling me? It's wrong. Right click this. It's not true. You could look through spy activities, all that kind of stuff, but I generally don't bother much with the intrigue side of things, except for, you know, swaying and that kind of thing. There are hooks you could do something with eventually. I'm not going to tell you what, because honestly, I don't remember. You can extort money partially. You can try and force them to do things that you want them to do, like go into conversion, become a Catholic or something, or whatever your religion is. So right now I'm looking at our court here. If there's anyone new to consider. Oh no, they are coming again. Question is, where are they going? Are they going for him or for us? Oh, he was beaten again. You can tell if they're running around with their heads hanging down. Okay, we're being raided now. Let's raise all our troops. I don't think we have a chance. But we have a really, really good commander. Though this is plains. And none of this really works in plains. Okay, so if we start... I'm paused. Make sure you're paused. This says it's... you're probably going to lose. There are more soldiers. They're better quality. And they have more counters on the men-at-arms. So we're not going to attack here. We're just going to stand there menacingly. And hopefully he's not gonna attack us. More than he currently is, anyway. Could be a bad idea, though, so we're probably gonna stand down once he moves off. So you don't necessarily lose money. There's loot of 9 gold in here, but that doesn't get deducted from here. At least I don't think. So they have to overcome our garrison, which is 550 soldiers. They don't necessarily have to get through them for raiding, but they could if they were really attacking us. So we'll just wait for this to finish. Okay, so he has taken this, and we didn't lose the money here. But you can see our tax income is taking a huge hit. And since we have our troops raised right now, we're losing a lot of money. So we'll have to move our troops off and stand them down. There's nothing we can do right now. I will move them somewhere in friendly territory far away from these troops so we can actually do it. So they're all going home. At least we're not losing money anymore. So we are raided here. Our popular opinion is down. So, well, that's because they are of the wrong faith, really. So we're done being raided now. Very good. He's gonna seek other opportunities elsewhere. Lots of things going on there. Since our court chaplain is doing the fabricate claim, we can't go and convert these people here. Ah, very good. Our marshal has promoted a commander. So this is now a new guy in our court, which we can decide to keep or send away. But he is pretty darn good. He is a holy warrior. And he's reckless. So minimum battle roll is -4, but the maximum is +6. So generally could go real right, could go real wrong. He's also a torturer, which is kind of horrible. Cynical, vengeful. He's good. He shall serve us. So he's absolutely a knight. And we will force him to be a knight. He's definitely a knight. So he brought us this guy. The 2 best guys we have. Him we recruited out of nowhere, and he recruited him. So that's great. Now that he is part of our court, let's unpause real quick so the game catches up. We can try and find him a spouse too, which we're going to do. Let's see. I'm looking for traits here. Again, another giantess. Let's get the giantess. I want an army of giants later on. That's what I'm going for here. All right, we got a new lifestyle perk, so we can put a new point either there. We could go ahead and get plus 5% monthly prestige for people on our court who are, on our council who are powerful vassals, but I don't really care. We're going to put 1 per point over here in befriend because that's really, really powerful. We can challenge people to board games, and we can try and befriend them, which is just a fantastic thing. So once we have seduced our wife, we'll start maybe befriending her. Oh, very good. We can ask our head of faith for some claims. Let's check. The High Chiefdom of Gostomil. Which one is that? Oh, it's this one. Oh. Yes. Okay. So this is another way to potentially get claims, which then allow you to attack a thing. So we get, if we spend 230 piety, which we're absolutely going to do, we get the pressed claim on this High Chiefdom, which he currently holds. So if we take him, we get all of that. He'll hate us for it, but what do we care? All right. So now we have this claim here, We don't need him to do this anymore. We can take our counselor and send him to convert faith over here. We were just warned that we are cancelling what he's doing. So now we have a very good reason to fight him. And he's very weak. I don't think we need to call our allies in. We already saw that we're winning, but he has some gold. I don't think it's enough for him to hire mercenaries, but just so you're aware, you can hire mercenaries. So before we attack a random enemy, make sure that they don't have enough gold at hand to get a mercenary. These are sorted by value. And they can go into debt, sure, but it's not going to help them much. So, another thing is holy orders. Doesn't really matter here, but if they are of a different religion, they might get a holy order, which are really cheap to get. They cost just some piety, and suddenly you're facing way more than you think. But we have all the advantages. We can call in an ally if we want. It will cost us prestige to do so. So if he, for some reason, suddenly brings in a lot more troops than he has, I think calling in an ally is 150 prestige. So make sure you have 300 to start and then to finish it. So we'll go ahead and wage war, and we're going to get this bit here. And the title, which is really important, and we'll get to that once we have it. So now we're going to raise our troops. And we'll move directly to attack his capital. We'll leave him in as the commander. We'll just immediately lay siege to his stuff. We haven't seen his troops yet, but they'll be somewhere here. There they are. And he knows he has no chance to attack us. He's gonna lose. So what he's doing is he's putting his troops in a favorable position up here in the hills, where I would be at quite the disadvantage were I to attack there. So right now we're sieging. There are several things to watch out for in a siege. There might be a little icon where it tells you, okay, you are not equipped to handle this siege. If you got this, try and avoid it. It'll work, but it'll take forever. So at the moment, with this siege going, it'll take a maximum of 9 months. He might decide to attack us, but it's not going to be in his favor. A siege is also comprised of several things, so let's look at it. First of all, where is it? Then, what do we have right now? This means how quickly are supplies being lost in winter. So we could select all our besieging armies, if we need that. We could select the holding, if we want to look at the thing beneath it. I think that should work. Or we could select the fort, and then there we are. So, what do we see here? We see the number of soldiers. We are bringing 985, and they have 250. They take 9 casualties each month due to attrition. So, this is how that happens. But there are events here. We have no siege weapons, so it's going to be a little bit slower. He is fully stocked. Everyone is normal still. We cannot assault the fort yet, because we haven't really built anything or gotten anything. A reading in Barony of Gmer. Oh, right, we're still seducing our wife. The celebrations had come to an end, and evening's entertainment seemed to be over when Countess Miloslava suggested a reading. A clerk soon arrived, wondering what the guests would like to hear, and I see my chance to impress our wife. So, again, we'll look at what she's into business, and she's very cruel about it. Spiritual medicine. Maybe. Entertainment, I don't think she's into that much. Something pious. I don't know. I don't know. All of these feel like a bad choice. Okay, oh right, we got the right one. She seemed completely engrossed by our reading of... I think we picked something medicinal. And we now have smoldering chemistry. Rar. Alright, let's keep going here. So, he's going to counter siege. He's going to set up a siege over in one of our holdings. Which will take 12 months. So we're not going to abandon our siege to try and lift the siege on our own holdings. Because ours will be done before his. 7 months maximum. And depending on the events, it might go quicker. Our boy gets the trait pensive. Alright. Oh boy, I forgot something. With your child, you can select an education focus as well. So let's have a quick look here. He is a thinker at the moment. So going into this direction would help. Diplomacy would also help. And so stewardship or that. I think we're going to go for stewardship. And make sure that our wife is educating him. Because she's very good at that. She's a fantastic steward. Plus, she's giving plus 25 for opinion because she is educating our heir, which gives more opinion. Our neighboring ruler won a war. Wait, what? They won? Our neighbor has won against King Boris. Oh, no. He lost. So now we have a new neighbor here. The Kingdom of Hungary. Okay. Alright, good to know. We're just fighting our little war here. At the feet of giants. But that's okay. We'll just speed this up a bit more. I don't know why our liege hasn't stood down his troops. Because they were retreating. Ooh, a dangerous faction. Very good. So there are some peasants that are very unhappy with us. And in 12 months, they can send an ultimatum for us to either do what they say or else. With a peasant revolt, it's not too bad generally. You will be likely able to put them down, so don't worry about it. I'm not worrying about it. I'm worrying about these sieges here. This is more important. So he... Let's check this. He has actually breached the walls. So he could assault this. So this has changed the timelines now a little bit. But things are also a little bit different there. So we are getting forward as well. So we're still ahead. Sickness is spreading down there. And well, he's still fully stocked. Okay. Sickness is spreading in our home as well. And he has siege weapons, which we do not have. Okay, but we have gotten a starvation there, so we're in the end days of this siege. Very good. So we have won this, and now we will send our troops to lift the siege on our own holdings. We'll still go back and take this eventually. But you can see with the outline here where it's dotted, like that's the main reason you came to fight. Basically, that's what you're fighting for and coming for. Okay, a balanced battle. I wouldn't have thought that. Because we do have the numerical superiority quite large. And we have a big advantage. No, he has a big advantage, but we're still winning. But we are also being raided at the moment by our new neighbors. Lovely. We could try and attack them, but they have god tier quality. They would absolutely whoop us. There's nothing we can do. We would not win this. Oh no. Kvete was killed in our siege. That's bad. Why did he stop? No, he's doing that. Okay. No valid targets for his task. He can't convert anyone anymore. So meaning Everyone is Catholic now. Very good. Oops. A bit too far. Oh, interesting. Okay, so there's new troops coming in. And instead of fighting the siege here... So these are retreating. They're gonna walk a little bit further, I think. Okay, let's think this through. His troops are gonna arrive... We lose 100 just by moving there. So we're not gonna. What we need to do is we need to call in an ally. And we're gonna call in the Count. He's very close to us. It costs us 75 prestige to call him. But right now we are at a disadvantage. And you can see he's immediately moving his troops to engage us. He's gonna lose this battle. Yeah? If he attacks us here, it's gonna be fine. But these are gonna move up. So he'll be reinforced in just a moment. So what we need to do is move to friendly terrain. Because even though we are standing here, we are not gonna be the defenders in this fight. He is. It's his lands. He's gonna defend here. But this we have captured. So this is our lands now. Problem being, this is plain still. Now there's forest. It's all forest here. We don't even have any hills. What is this? We could retreat to the hills. But he's probably gonna come and try and counter siege. So we're waiting for him to raise his armies and help us. So going to the hills is also fine. I think we'll go to the hills. Our guy has the advantage there. And that is still ours. So we're gonna be resupplied and have the defender advantage. Alright, we have successfully succeeded. So our wife will become our lover. And we will also sleep with one another. Can you imagine? Alright, so now he's coming still. And right now we're gonna win decisively because we are defending a river crossing. He has to cross a river to get to us. You can see it here. Here we are defending in hills. Our commander is suited for this. This is his thing. And we have more soldiers. But he has more men-at-arms. And there's another army coming. But our ally has raised his troops. And if we can hold out long enough, right, then we will still win. Okay. Actually, he reconsidered this situation a little bit. And he wasn't sending his full reinforcements there. Interesting choice. Okay. Another thing to note. He is still coming. I think he went around to avoid the river crossing. Once this arrow turns white, you cannot make another choice. Your army is going to go where it's going. That's where it goes. Yellow, you can still do things about. You know, if I do this, I can stop it. I can do this, I can stop it. We'll stay here. Our ally is almost upon us. And he is coming. We're still in a better position. And our ally is going to join us. Oh, we're actually winning even without our ally. Interesting. And our wife is pregnant again. So now our ally is here. And it's a no-brainer. We have completely shattered the enemy. And now we go and siege this. We're in a good position now. So it was a good choice to bring in our ally. Let's check where these troops came from. How does he suddenly have 1,267 troops? So I do not see any mercenaries in this. Oh no, there they are. 469 mercenaries. He actually... No, he didn't go into debt. I don't know where his money came from all of a sudden. Maybe he got money from his head of faith. Okay, they're coming again. And again, we don't want to fight them in unfavorable terrain. We want to fight them in favorable terrain. So we're going to stand here and wait for him to come. Maybe he will, maybe he won't. We'll see. I don't know where he's going. No clue. So we're gonna go here and siege this. He's probably returning then. Yeah. Not sure what that was about just now. No. It's not true. They're lying. So the problem is they can push us off indefinitely, kinda. If we have to keep moving off, and we do, because I don't think we can fight them, even with our ally, like not like that. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna call in our other ally here. We'll go a little bit in the negative on our prestige, but it'll be remedied next month. So don't worry about it too much. Maybe we'll have to do this dance a little bit more until our big boy ally has chosen to arrive. Okay, we have a problem. Our ally is not moving off. He's staying there. And we just saw a skull pop up while we were standing there. So we will have to wait for our other ally to arrive and bail us out. So this guy, he will have to lose on his own. We are not going to be able to help. Instead, we're going to go move toward our large friend, who will hopefully help us wipe this off the face of the earth. We did lose some war score there, due to our friend losing the battle, sadly. Okay. Now we're coming in with much more troops. And that's going to be a decisive thing. Oh, he got wounded a little bit. And we have a new boy, a Yaroslav. Very good. We'll take care of him in a moment, but we'll put him on education focus as well. Now, he's going to be something else. He's going to be our court diplomat. So we'll educate him ourselves. And we could marry him to one of our courtiers or elsewhere. Doesn't really matter. Let's focus on our war. Finish that. So you now kind of see all the things that we did to bring this together. So all this makes a little bit of sense. Yeah. That's how and why we did it. Okay, that wasn't ideal, the movement that we just performed. But it could have been worse. So right now we just keep fighting him. Oh, okay, we would lose troops if we go there, so we're not going to go there. You can see if there's a red skull popping up, then it's like, okay, if you go there, you're just by going there, you're gonna lose troops. Let's reinforce here again. There's a limit to the war score you can get out of certain things. So we can win more battles, but we're not gonna get more war score than we already have. This will continually tick up as we control the area the battle is about, the war is about. So right now we're fighting for this, and we slew a chief. I don't know if this was one of ours or one of theirs. Okay. So he has no choice left. He keeps attacking. There's really nothing else you can do. Might as well fight to his dying breath. Okay, this time we defeated his army in the very first phase of battle, so it was completely obliterated. It's not even there anymore. We're done with that. And we're at 93%. And we'll get this in no time. We will have expanded the realm of our king, and we will become a duke ourselves. So we no longer a count, and we will not longer be subject to him, which is nice. Because now we have understood a lot of the things of how relationships work, who we need to worry about, who we don't need to worry about, all that kind of stuff. We can go to this grand tournament of Chieftain Maisiek, and I think we'll do that. Costs us nothing. We could put a caravan master. Do we need to do that? Yes. Because getting there is dangerous, so let's do that. Let's see. We have an average aptitude for a caravan master in Ekaterina. It costs us a little bit of gold, but that's fine. Speeds it up. Removes the high chains of danger. We could hire some mercenary guards. Circumspect. Hostile scheme resistance plus 50%. So if someone tries to get us, they won't know where we're going. And since we're speeding up heavily, I might as well speed down a little bit and be safer for it. Let's see. We have 4 medium danger chances, so... mercenary guards, speed, and safety. I think we'll do that. And we have 5 in our entourage. We have our heir, our son and ward, our daughter, our bishop, and our caravan master. All right. We could customize the route. So right now, we have to go like here and back. That's why it's going both ways. But if we were to go a different place, like we could add more destinations. Then we could experience more things. But we're not going to. So we'll just go there. Now, our character is traveling along that route, and there's going to be events tied to it. While we fight a war, we go to a grand tournament. Very good. My fellow attendee, Chieftain Matthias, is hosting a grand tournament in the vicinity of this place, and the time has come for us to depart. We shall represent the house of Smoleniki and make the Slovian people proud. I suppose we must. Onward. So while we travel, we're going to have a regent in place, which is our wife, who is our lover. So all good. This, by the way, means regent. All right. Let's see. Weird whispers. I've noticed that Captain Corman avoids me more than usual. He always sits at the opposite end of the table whenever we're invited to a feast, and consistently refuses my company while camping. We may not have the best relationship. Isn't he my friend? Oh no, that's a different guy. We may not have the best relationship, but the attitude is starting to tire me, especially when I overhear him defaming me. Predislav is a false bastard. I'd be a way better count than him, would you? Okay. So he's one of the mercenaries traveling with us. So 81% chance we win a fight against him, and he leaves. 18% chance it doesn't work, and there is going to be a mutiny. It's going to give us stress because we're forgiving. We could let the Karen Master take care of it. Or we could just ignore it. We don't have the prestige to do so, so we will have to, go ahead and kick him out. Bye-bye, Captain Coleman. We have won and made him leave, so that's somewhat good. And we have a new diplomacy perk. Let's see. Confidence. Each friend adds minus 5% stress. All right, we should start doing more friends. Let's go with inspiring rule. I just want to build out this tree. That's what I'm thinking. Not much else. Let's go. Let's go start befriending people. And we'll look inward. We'll look at our council on who to befriend. And we'll befriend our spy master. 98% chance. Nice. That's going to be good. So now we have a bunch of things going. Multiple irons in the fire. Travel. A Russian mendicant. Okay. You've heard that Heilach is a land lousy with holy men traveling in impoverished conditions, living often on faith alone. One such mendicant has approached our caravan and preaching his own mystical esoteric philosophy. The impoverished creature seems to loathe to part with our company, but perhaps I can get rid of him. I am a master debater. Arguably questionable. I'm sure they'll leave eventually. A good heretic burning is in order. I mean, I am Catholic. I am Catholic, and I think that's what he'll do. We're not as forgiving to those that are not following in Jesus' name. Oh, tournament arrival. Very good. I've arrived at the site of the tournament here in Stesia. Though not all the revelers have yet arrived, throngs of people wander through the colorful surroundings, all looking forward to the forthcoming display of skill and prowess. There is no time to lose. I must begin preparing. I must be a victor at absolutely any cost. Can't wait. Honestly, I haven't even done a journey yet, so this is new to me as well. I just have to mark down the time real quick. So the tournament, let's see how this works. What's going on here? Let's slow time down a little bit. So you're waiting for the wrestling to begin. 25 days to begin. Your intent. What do we want to do? We want to relax. We want to triumph. We want to recruit. We want to murder. We want to seduce. We want to befriend. He's just striking this pose and sticking it. Okay. Murder. Seduce. Befriend. Who might we want to befriend? No, I think we'll go for triumph. We want to triumph here. We've never done it. You are currently guaranteed to qualify. All right. Very good. So we will get a part in it. Enter artisan quarters. Boy, this is a lot. Let's see, we could go to the village, close settlement. Here you may get county control, popular opinion, and interactions with its inhabitants. You will automatically visit a locale after 55 days. Prepare victory and test your faith. Chance to reduce stress. Oh, stress is okay. Don't have to do that. Increase progress to victory. That sounds good. Oh, we might get some artifacts. Meet other contestants and sabotage them. We are not at all good at intrigue, so I think we're going to go to the journey grounds. Lively noises make me discover an improvised arena set up by the local peasants, where two burly wrestlers are putting on a show. They trade blows, weave, duck, and circle each other until one of them makes the daring move. I call this a double tower, he screams before lifting his opponent and slamming him to the ground, making him yield. Rava, the perceptive and stunning, victorious yet again, the victor gloats. Oh, how exciting. I should study their techniques. You, the winner, here, a few coins. Okay. Little money for a lot of prestige, but I think we'll try and study their techniques. Ah. Our score increases moderately. So that's all we can do in this place right now. So we'll move it up a little bit. We can go out of here and we can go back in, clicking on that eventually. But for now, we want to win our little war down here. So our regent, we have began sharing power. Regencies aren't much to worry about early on. So there we go. That's our winning. We have won, and he is done for. Well, almost. We get this nice little disband all button. So we have gotten a lot more stuff now. We are over our domain limit. That's a problem. We hold too much. But there's a solution. we can check our succession, and we'll see we'll lose several county titles to our son anyway. So, what we could do is give one of those titles to our sons immediately. Could do that. But first, let's check the counties that we even got. So this one here is, you know, Control 10, Development 2. It has more building slots. I'm still eyeing something like this. So, we'll see. We'll see. Our liege doesn't like us. No, they don't like them. Our liege is okay with us, sort of. I did just increase his holdings, so that's just fair. Let's see. Succession. So our boy is going to inherit something anyway. I might as well give him this. But before we give him a title, we want to make sure that he's marrying. And we'll go with the High Chiefdom of Balaton. So we get another alliance here. He'll accept this, and I think he's already our ally. So we'll just strengthening it. It's fair enough. Yeah, he's already our friend. As you can see by this little flag here. So that's okay. And after that marriage is through, because if he's reigning himself, we've qualified for the wrestling contest and we got 75 prestige for it. If he's reigning himself, he gets to decide who he marries or if he marries and stuff. So I have a better place. Do we wager gold? Okay, so let's see. You will face High Chieftain Vaslaw. Him. His prowess is 1. My prowess is higher. So... Oh, what? Okay. If we are the winner, we gain 25. If we lose, I have a good feeling about it. I will bet on ourselves. We have some hubris. Let's see. Wrestling Sabotage. So, we are fighting him. He looks kind of unsure. 13 prowess. 2 prowess. So he's probably the worst here, but I don't know if I have to fight more. Let's see. It could be, you know, doesn't really matter. Let's see. We have a very low likelihood of success and a very high likelihood things go wrong. But we could sabotage our direct guy. His score decreases moderately. Like there's a low chance we get it, but there's a high chance nothing really happens, so. Known saboteur for 3 years. Nah, there's no way to win. I'm not gonna do anything. Alright. Choices. A feral shoulder bash from Vosla thuds into my ribcage and I am brought to the floor, but he doesn't follow me into a pin. It's with good reason too, as my fist flashes through the air where the head would have been. The feeling out stages... What? The feeling out stages. Feeling out stages of this particular bout are clearly very much over. The two of us circle cautiously, Vassislav with the shadow of a sly grin. It is in the calm before the storm, and a wily wrestler uses these moments to strategize. Okay, so what's our best chance? Just get him to the ground. It works reasonably well. Nah. Work on the body grapples. That's okay. Okay. Alright. You knock them down. Score increases greatly. Okay, so it's basically a game of chance at this point. So this is the highest chance we have at something positive happening with 83%. This here is equal for everything. Might be really good, might be really bad. This here is the worst option for us, I think. So it's work on body grapples or just get him to the ground. What is a Hastiluder? It's participative. Okay. All right. I think we'll go with a body grapple. It's a 66% chance of something good. Here we have a 85% chance of something good. Slightly. But we have a higher chance of something really good, so we'll try. Our score increases slightly, so we got the middle example. And the betrothal proposal has been accepted, so now we can give him a title. Grant a title, and he is slated to get a Zemplin anyway. So we'll give him that. And that's fine. So he has a regent now. And we have our first vassal, who is our own son. So we control everything else. But he controls that. We needed to get this down to 4 out of 4. Because if you don't, you're going to incur like tax problems. Oh, hello, Victoria. I didn't see you there. If we don't, we're going to incur some tax problems and recruitment stuff is going to go down. It's all around bad. We don't want that. Right. So, wrestling. Pinned. The ground... oh, boy. The crowd bays for blood as I stagger forward to confront my opponent again. I cuff away the red rivulet from my forehead and consider the fight so far, musing about when I analyzed my opponent to ensure success. Okay. Our king puts us on the council, and we will be the spy master with 0 spy master experience. Good stuff. Well done, us. Right. So, his liver looks vulnerable. Let us lock up as warriors. Faint low, go high. Keep it simple, keep it safe. Alright, so 50% chance of something more or less positive happening. More than 50% chance. 50% chance. I think we'll go with this. We have the highest chance of something good happening here. So come, let us lock up as warriors. Let's see how that works. Oh. Did we win? Oh, I attempt to... it's a toss-up, but it says victory. I attempt to throw my opponent, but as soon as I do, I'm sent flying through the air myself. I land hard, the wind leaving my lungs with a groan, and I am immediately on the defensive, straining to keep from being pinned down. Moments later, I manage to catch Vassla off guard. I don't waste the opportunity, grabbing him about his waist and throwing him with all my might towards the edges, where he sprawls out to the ring. The judges call an end. I have won. Cool. So, wrestling quarter finals. Now we are fighting... quarterfinals. Next we're gonna fight Oleg. I assume. So it's a fine contest. Let's see. Can we do something? No, we're stuck in the wrestling, so... Alright, semifinals. We are fighting this lad here, who is much better than us. Oh boy. Look at this lad. What a lad. What an absolute Chad. Look at us. My god. We could concede. No, we will not concede. We can do this. Scheme at court. Someone is trying to kill my friend Colm. Koloman. All right, we'll check this out for a moment. So our spy master just told us that someone is trying to kill our friend. Generally, I don't care. But just in terms of understanding what's going on. So we now... we should know schemes are going on, but the game doesn't show us yet. Maybe you have to unpause and repause. Let's see. Let's see. Ambrose is a little way away. Baying of spectators quiets a bit as we begin to circle each other. I notice a small puff of dust rising behind, being thrown up under Ambrose's right foot every time he makes a step. It's almost like Ambrose is limping slightly. Okay. Ambrose is bluffing. We know this. 0% chance he's injured. So our score decreases slightly. That is not slightly. 22% down is not slightly. Excuse me. Let's see. That liver looks vulnerable. Keep it simple, keep it safe. Nah. I think we'll go for locking up as warriors again. Nope. I think we're out. We were soundly defeated here. I mean, look at that lad. We are confounded as we were knocked out. No wonder. Okay. Gradomir knocked out Oleg. A fine contest indeed. So we failed and we lost gold because we bet on ourselves. What? We are in the finals? Why? No, Gradomir will face Ambrose. We are not in the finals here. Okay. He just kind of looks like us, so I was confused. And the lad of lads wins. Who would have thought that the muscle man wins the muscle man contest? Oh, there's always next time. So we lost 5 gold, but we got a wrestler for 5 years. So that gives us a medium health boost, which is nice. And we get 5 gold, which we just lost. So we get some 75 prestige. No, that's not us. We only get wrestler. All right. Let's go back to our intrigue thing that I wanted to talk about for a moment. So now we know that this scheme exists. We don't know who is scheming it, but we know it's not very successful. 5% success chance. Doesn't matter. Secrecy, 20% means how likely is it that people will talk about the scheme, reducing the success chance and increasing our chance to find who's behind it. So I think back to the tournament. Oh, okay. So it's done. It wasn't. I was unable to win a contest, and I'm looking forward to the next one. So what do we get? Nothing. We gained 8 trade experience in foot Hastiluda. All these difficult words in this game, I swear. So now we're traveling back, I think. Are we? Or are there more contests? No, okay, that's done. So the tournament is done. And we'll finish. So we just have to get home safely now. There's a lot of current situation stuffs popped up. All right. Cultural fascination. Travel. Just someone traveling with us is culturally fascinated. And we could ask them to talk about their people and learn the language, but We want the prestige. We need the prestige. Right. We should feudalize the county of Uzorod. Right. How do I do that? I never had that. I don't think. Oh. We have to build a holding here, basically. Which I don't think we can afford. Yeah, we have neither the money nor the prestige to upgrade this tribal holding to a feudal holding. We can negotiate an alliance with our son, because he is our own vassal, and we would like to be allied with him, obviously. We could declare some wars against people who are much stronger than us. So it's not really worthwhile. We could fight him, but it's a holy war. Now, the thing about holy wars is they can call in people of their own faith to help defend against us. So you always have to look at the religion, how far spread it is. And you can see Slovians, there's a lot of them. A lot of them. So they might still win. Even if they look weak right now, they might not be. Okay, let's go and convert our county here to Catholic. And apart from that, low controlling counties, it's something you should keep in mind, because it does reduce your development and everything. So do increase control in your own counties. Don't necessarily increase it in your vassal counties. They can take care of it yourselves. So we'll just work on this place that we recently acquired. All right. And I've been going at this for a while. It's like 2 hours and 45 minutes now. And I think we'll leave it here for today. You've learned the basics, the important stuff about, I think, playing and surviving in Crusader Kings 3. You want heirs, but not too many. You want to increase your titles and expand. And there you go. We'll do more of these, I'm sure. But for now, for today, this will be it. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, leave a like, maybe subscribe. And see you around on the next one. Until then, bye-bye.